I can't hear you at all now.
You can't hear me at all? Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3.
That's a little better.
Hello.
Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3.
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you just fine.
Alrighty. So what's going on with it?
Just my sound stopped. Started kind
There
of
you go.
acting
Now
up.
it's better.
I don't know what's going on. I don't know what happened to Sally.
She probably fell asleep in front of the computer, waiting. She's probably sitting there with the headphones on.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, poor thing. Okay.
All right. So we're at least back to being live.
Yeah, for the moment.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's. I don't know. That's just weird that it's not working great lately.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that. And Sally tried to log in, and she couldn't log into my account. They were saying that she was a robot, and so I don't know.
Strange. Oh, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do?
I don't know.
Do we still have an audience?
Yes.
Ah, okay. Wasn't sure, so.
Yeah. Well, that's good. Frankie's Fine says we hear you.
It's okay, Jason. We actually collect the money through your taxes, so you pay us no matter what. Good content, bad content, no content.
You're screwed, Jason.
It's not a sweater. It's just a shirt. It's a T-shirt on top of another T-shirt. Because if I wear a white shirt, people are like, "Oh my God, I'm blinding people." So I just threw another shirt on top. I'm barely awake this morning. So. Oh.
Crazy. Y'all are crazy. I'm trying to find
Just
Sally.
ask
I don't know what happened to her.
And since I stopped working in the business world, I don't iron anything.
Mm-hmm. I didn't iron anything when I was in the business world.
Well, I mean, there are times I had to and everything like that. But I mean, being a fat guy, the nice thing is you tuck it in real tight and you stand up and it pulls it nice and straight, takes the wrinkles right out. So
yeah,
that's a fat guy tip for everybody who's afraid of, especially if you got to go meet somebody and you're suddenly you're a little bit wrinkled. You're like, tuck it in real tight and just lean back a little bit and it'll pull those wrinkles right out. Works for a few minutes at least.
Mm-hmm.
So what are we looking at, Nikki? Besides water.
That's the Bay, St. Louis River.
Oh,
Okay.
Figure it was prettier than me.
so what's across the way? What town is across the way?
Duluth.
Duluth. Okay.
Mm-hmm. I'm sitting in Superior. And the bridges that you see, the smaller bridge, that's a railroad bridge. Trains go across there. And that spins in the middle when ships come in.
Yeah, I knew it was one of those.
And then the big bridge, that's the Bong Bridge. That's the main bridge. There's two bridges going from, there's actually 3 bridges going from Superior to Duluth.
And the barges can go underneath that one.
Yeah, everything can go under that one.
Okay. I hear a friend of mine lives up there. I think she lives in Duluth. Not 100%, but.
Huh?
I got a friend of mine lives. I think it's in Duluth is where she lives.
Oh.
She loves it up there. Moved up there.
Yeah.
12 years ago, roughly. something like that. And
That's beautiful.
raised her son up there.
Yeah, I'm right where there used to be a bridge over here. Now it's a fishing dock. But there used to be a little wooden bridge that would lift up in the middle when ships would come across. And but they took that bridge down back in the 80s, and that's when they built the bridge that's ahead of me right there, the Bong Bridge.
Okay.
But now I go down here and go fishing sometimes. I like fishing down here.
You feel some nice big old flathead catfish.
Yeah, I don't like catfish. I usually give those away when I catch them. There's usually somebody on the dock who'll take them though. Which now they used to have another fishing dock here, which was really high from the water. So if you didn't have like a telescoping net, chances are you'd break your line. But now they've got it like real low to the ground, to water, so it's a lot easier fishing, a lot nicer fishing. I have a boat, but usually if my husband's not with, I just fish from shore. I catch just as much from shore as I do with the boat. So
yeah, it's a little different when you're fishing in a big, in a big area like that than a lake or something like that. I hate fishing from the edge, water's edge. I like to be out in the boat and moving around.
yeah, I can cast really far with mine too. I got a big boomstick that I can cast really good with too. So.
Oh.
Fish are plentiful up here, so.
How was everybody's sales yesterday? And the weekend, actually, since I didn't.
I actually had 11 sales, and then but 2 didn't pay, so I had 9 go out yesterday morning, which was pretty good. I'll take it.
Yeah, I had 9 go out yesterday. I got 6 going out today.
That's good.
So yeah, I mean, they're finally sold some of those hard drives I listed. So
I was at the ICU the end of last week with my aunt and waiting for her to die, and then Saturday she passed away, so I didn't get any listings in.
Yeah, it's tough. Of course, I mean, if you think about this, you can. It's a nice thing about doing this type of work. I mean, you have the time to be able to be there for things like this. So.
Yeah, I didn't. Everybody else had work. I didn't have to worry about nothing.
Roger Moore died. Holy crap!
Did he?
I didn't know he was that old.
Yeah.
Oh.
He was 89 years old.
Yeah.
Really?
I didn't realize he was that old.
Oh, I didn't realize we were live already.
Yeah, we've been live for a while.
Sorry. At least you weren't eating any soup.
Yeah.
Wow, Diana still sold 15 for Monday. That's good.
Yeah, that's really good.
Really good.
Way to go, Shark. I finally got top rated seller plus.
Woohoo!
Yeah, that's.
I mean,
it does make a difference. It does bump you up.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things that can you want to strive for. Unless you're selling very, very specific, sought after items. Jason and his tools and things like that. I mean, you don't have to be top rated seller for that thing because they're going to find it anyway. But if you're selling coffee mugs, you want to be the best seller out there because that's how you're going to get up there in the search engines.
Right.
It's the only thing it's one of the things you can control. You can control your shipping costs. You can control your business, whether or not you're top rated seller or not. I mean, you can't control what people click on your mug or not. But Diana sold some final records. Barb's got sold 16 over the weekend. That's good.
That's really good.
Yeah, I mean, I said my Friday and Saturday sales are just horrendous, but Sunday just like pulls the whole weekend into a win. I mean, it's just weird, but you know, it's if you think about the time of year, it's people are kind of breaking out of their hibernation, and Fridays and Saturday nights they're out there partying. They're not sitting at home on the computer.
Right.
So, I mean, you can't really. I mean, it's one of those seasonal things you got to learn to recognize and not panic.
Yeah, you just have to keep listing. And it's difficult not to panic, you know, because you're thinking, oh my gosh, was my account turned off, or you know, what's going on? You know, no one's seeing my stuff.
I find that I typically panic when I have a bill that I need to pay and I'm not getting the sales to pay it.
Right.
That's when I'm starting to freak out and realize, oh my, what's going on? What's going on? And then you just kind of, you got to realize your panic is more induced by the bill than it is by the fact that your sales really aren't that much different. I mean, I get comforted when I go and look at my metrics for how I did compared to last year, or how I'm doing, you know, in the last, compared to the last 31 days and things like that. That's the stuff that kind of helps me refocus my mind. But you know, like, so I got a big bill I got to pay at the end of the month. I got to pay my tax bill for 6 months, which is like $1,000. So I got to raise $1,000 between now and the 20th. And that type of pressure suddenly starts to build on you. You know, and I know I'll do it. It's not a big deal. I mean, I do it every month, but it's sitting in the back of your mind going, oh my God, I got to pay that bill, and then I got to raise $1,000. I mean, you know, and it's like, why are they buying my stuff? And it's very easy to paralyze yourself, and it will actually stop you from listing when you get paranoid. You'll start to freak out and not realize, just list some more stuff. Just keep feeding the beast, and it will actually help you out. I mean, I've been listing for, I mean, I don't even know how many items I've listed this month, but I mean, this year. But my sales, I mean, I list probably 25, 30, 40 items a week. And yet my store number doesn't really change that much. I have, I think, 508, 509 items in my store right now. But consistently, I keep that same amount in there because I keep throwing more items in the store. Right. And so you just don't even think about how much stuff you've actually listed in a year. I just know that I have like a little bit over 500 items, but I have sales every day. Yeah, but you just easily get freaked out when things aren't going the right way.
Can you hear me?
Yep, I'm here.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, Jason sold some stuff you got for free yesterday.
Well, that's good. Free is always good.
Well, I said I got 170 hard drives I was given for free, so they're all refurbished, brand new, still. I mean, refurbished in the packages, but sold 5 of them. Took it off for $10 a piece on them.
Cool. Oh, it's okay. Can you talk, Valerie?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yes, I could talk.
Okay. Just making sure.
I don't know what the whole thing is, you know, what's going on, but I still have my earbuds on, so.
Oh.
Which I hate.
Yeah. I definitely think you need to like defrag your computer or something, and you know, when's the last time you did that?
Been a while.
Well, that could definitely be the issue.
I gotta remember how to do that.
What you need to do is put it on to where. Shut up.
So it does it automatically.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Knock it off.
Oh.
Hey, get on. Hit the road, Jax.
Don't you come back no more.
Just send my dog up here. Eat your dog, Sally.
What?
I'm gonna send my dog up there to eat your dog.
That's a Scooby snack.
Actually, I should send my cat up there to eat your dog since my cat weighs 5 times your dog does.
Probably. Everybody make it back okay?
I think so.
In the YouTubes.
Yeah,
But I don't know what's going on with it. But and
Something, but
I don't know why you couldn't get on either. So
yeah.
I don't
know.
Megan said that barking was so clear I thought I had a dog in the house.
Yeah.
Everybody.
That's
My
my
dog.
Prancer dog. Prancer dog has a very large, sharp bark.
For weighing 3 pounds. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Kind of like that dog from Something About Mary. Big noise in the
Yeah.
bathroom, and you open it up and there's a little tiny thing in front of you.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Anybody buy anything good lately?
No.
No, I had my husband get a hold of my brother-in-law to see if he can, if he had anything to go through. He's been doing those storage buildings and stuff, and I was like, that'd be cool if I can go over there and dig today, but he said he didn't have anything till maybe this weekend. And so I'm like, okay, well, at least that's something,
Does he
maybe look forward to.
Does he buy storage units for something specific, like furniture and stuff, and then?
No, he runs them, and he runs a storage facility, and so whenever people don't pay or whatever, he has to list it in the paper for a while, and then run that whole course, and then he gets to go through it himself. He's not auctioning them or anything. So, but he just hasn't found a way to get rid of the stuff,
That's why you have auctions for.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
I know.
I mean, if he was smart, if he really wanted to, I mean, the best money comes from just cutting the lock in front of people and selling them. That's the best money.
Yeah.
He could open them up, go through them real quick, see if there's anything that's, just super valuable right on the surface without digging through everything, and say, okay, I'm going to take that out and then sell the rest. Or he'd be better off just selling them at auction. And that way he collects a cleaning deposit, $50 to $100 cleaning deposit, and they get it back when it's cleaned and swept out. He doesn't have to do any work. I mean, most of the rules of those places are you can't use our dumpsters. You have to take, you buy it, you take everything off the property. That's the bestest and fast way, because you're going to get whatever unit you clean out every month. You get rid of that, and a lot of places will because it's your stuff. You don't even have to hire an auctioneer.
Yeah.
He can go out there and do it. Just give me 50, give me 100. I mean, just do it real quick, and he'd be surprised how much money he can get back off of those. He more than likely would get back what they owe him first off.
Right.
But I mean, you got to understand the rules, because everything, getting rid of those storage units, there's a lot of rules with those things. And I mean, I know he knows the rules about how to basically repossess them, but selling them is a little bit different animal.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the best way for him to get rid of the stuff and clean it out and be done with it. The second best way, I think, would be to actually get a hold of some resellers in the area and basically say, okay, how much will you give me for this room? And I mean, just do it privately sales. I got a room here for sale. How much do you want to give me for it?
Yeah.
And he could do the same with you. I mean, he could say, hey, Sally, I got a room that's, I don't think anybody's going to really want it. It's got a lot of clothes and stuff in it. I know you like that stuff. Yeah, come on up and go through it, and give me $100 for it. That way it's still above board and everything. So
it's pretty good as what it is right now, because it's free.
it's free right now, but he's stuck with a lot of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I'm talking about a solution for both him and you. I mean,
Yeah.
the best for him is to sell them at auction and really profit.
Yeah, I agree.
Or you could
I
do it
agree.
this way. Here's a way for you to make some money on the side. You sell it for him. You
True.
set it up. You go to be the auctioneer for that day, and you take 10% of whatever you make off of that. And then you get cash
Yeah.
coming in. I would rather have the 10% from selling at auction because some of those units could sell for a couple $1,000.
Yeah.
And you're doing all the work. You do all the paperwork on it. You know, you got to register your bidders, the whole 9 yards. Somebody doesn't pay, then okay, then I'm going to go through it and I'll take care of it. You know,
Yeah.
someone doesn't want to, you know, they back out at the end. You know, you hit them with you got to have cash in your pocket right now. If you
Mm-hmm.
bid and you don't pay, you never get a bid again. If you don't clean it out, sweep it out, you don't get your cleaning deposit back. You know, I mean, that would be a way for you to take the hassle away from him, and you're only getting a little bit of the money back from him, and he's getting clean units ready to be re-rented. And you do it like on a Saturday and say, okay, Monday at noon, you got to be cleaned out, and then he's ready to go on Monday.
Yeah.
You know, I was going to bid on one unit, a storage auction that's going on right now, but they basically said one trip. When you come to pay, that's when you have to have it all cleaned out. You cannot come back. And I'm like, wow,
Yeah.
you don't even know how much is in there. You don't know what you're going to uncover. And I mean, how much stuff can I bring? I mean, if I bring my truck and a big trailer and it turns out that there's, you know, the unit, because you can't really see a whole lot, is more than I can handle. I mean, you're not going to let me come back. I mean, that's just odd to me.
I mean, but what would you do? Put your own lock on it?
Yeah, that's what you do with them. I mean, when you buy them, you put your own lock on them. So the person who buys it puts their own lock on it, and then you give them, if it's a facility, you give them a temporary code that'll last for like 3 days. I mean, you have all their information. They basically own that locker for 3 days and say, okay, on Monday at noon, it has to be cleaned out. If not, you forfeit your deposit and whatever else is in there.
Right.
But if you clean it out beforehand, you know, my hours are 8 to 5, you know, whatever, or, you know, come back Monday morning at 9 o'clock, come in the office, we'll go check the unit, take your lock off, clean it out, here's your $100 back. You know, that's how I would do it.
Yep.
That actually sounds kind of fun.
Yeah, and you got to make sure, you know, like I said, because you're doing it for the facility, a lot of times you don't have to have a license or anything to do that, because you're just basically selling it for him. And like I said, you're doing it just as a favor, 10% for him. But like I said, yeah, there's some things I would check out beforehand. And then, yeah, I guess, I mean, other Jason has to do, the facilities offer a 1-month lease on a unit to help you out. I mean, most of those places are month to month anyway. But yeah, a lot of places won't let you re-rent for some reason. But you can usually
Ours
rent
will. Ours
so.
usually will. Like, it doesn't, as long as, I mean, because you have, whenever you first start, I think you pay a security deposit anyways. Yep. So
if you went and rented the facility like anybody else for a month and said, I want that room because I already got my stuff in it, I need a month on it, they probably wouldn't care. The problem is you got a cleaning deposit you got to deal with, and that's one of the rules. So they'd have to sit there and say, okay, well, we're going to take your deposit, we'll apply that as your cleaning deposit when you leave in a month from now, and then you pay us another month's rent. I mean,
yeah, I think they usually just keep that. They keep your deposit, and then if you need to rent from them again, then, you know, it's all good.
Yeah. I mean, I would probably buy more units if some of these places would let me rent for another month and give me a month to get it cleaned out, because then I could actually, you know, take my time going through it, as opposed to jamming it all into a truck and a trailer, bringing it back here and having to sort back here in my garage, which just causes that to get jammed up. I mean, the last time I bought one, I mean, it had so many clothes in it. I must have had 25 totes of clothes. And I literally had a giant tarp laid out in my front part of my garage, because it was kind of rainy out. And I was sitting there taking a tote, and I was just doing a sort right there, sorting good clothes, bad clothes, maybe clothes. And I had a pile that was probably 8 feet deep by the time I was done. And then I turned around and just bagged it all up and took it to Goodwill. But it can be, having a place to sort is actually essential to selling these things or buying these things. And if I could just sort right at a unit, that'd be great.
Yeah, and then you can just take what you want.
I mean, that's the way to do it. Ideally, that's how you should buy a storage unit. You pull up, you got your trash section, you got your keep section, and the maybe section, and you sit there and you sort it right there. But if you buy a 10 by 30, that's tough. And and especially if you only got 2 days. Yeah, typically it's 2, sometimes 3 days to clean out. That's hard, and it's easy to miss stuff.
Yeah.
So I mean that's the only thing. That's one of the main reasons why I don't buy that many units. I mean, I bought one last year. I haven't bought one this year, but I also buy a lot of stuff, individual stuff or large lots at auction. So Lord knows I don't need anything right now. I'm trying to work through what I have. I haven't bought it. So
Me too, and I shouldn't even had him call because I have so much stuff right now anyways. It's just, I was just thinking, I want to get on it before, maybe somebody else, snags in on it.
well, I mean, I got a whole pile over here. I got a list, little tote right there. And then I have my massive collection over there that's
That's staring at you.
Yeah, well,
like
it's,
mine stares at
4
me.
totes high, so 4 plastic totes high. It's 2 wide, so there are 8 totes in each row, and there's 4 rows. So there's 32 totes of stuff to list. So I have plenty to list. Now some of it is clothing, which I take and I list as I get to it. I grab a tote of clothes and I'll list a tote of clothes, and I get away from clothes because clothes are a pain in the ass. So I do those in little sections. But I haven't bought clothing in a long time. It's stuff that I acquired a lot at auction. I acquired a lot of storage units. And so this is really good stuff. It's all worth at least $20 to $25 a piece. But I hate listing it. So, yeah, but a lot of, I mean, some of these totes have only got 1 or 2 items in it because they're big items. So I'm not really worried about that type of stuff. And, but I got 3 totes of dolls that I've got probably $20 in each tote. I got to get those up and listed. That doesn't count bird pictures and all that stuff, which should start going up. My plan is to get them up in July. So.
Oh, you're timing that?
Yeah, because I think that's going to be more of a gift type stuff, and so I want to have it up really for 4th quarter. So I've got, I have plans for that type of stuff. I mean, and that's what I do with a lot of my inventory. I think about when it's going to go up, like the Hawaiian shirts. I could have been listing Hawaiian shirts all winter long. They sell, but they don't sell as quick. Well, I listed them right at the beginning of summer. I listed 33 shirts, and I've sold about 29 of them. I think I have 4 shirts left out of that lot. So.
Wow.
Yeah, and that was just okay. I'm going to do Hawaiian shirts, set my picture taking area up for clothing, and just banged out 33 shirts in 2 days.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and those are all 15. They all sold between $15 and $30. I was taking offers on them because I just wanted to move them because they cost me $3 to ship them. So.
Right. Send some of those cha-chings over here, Todd. I need some of those.
Tell the truth, Eric. You don't want to sell your dollies.
I don't really think about it. They're stuffed in a tote. I mean, I got $1 in there that's worth $70. And that whole auction right now is free because I already sold enough stuff out of that auction. I mean, because I was literally buying $10 for $3. So I mean, it was I mean, my 3 totes of dolls, which I already called out. I mean, I actually had about 7 totes of dolls, but I pulled out the ones that were the best. But out of all those dolls I bought, I think I spent like $35. So, and there's one doll in there. It's an Anna Lee doll. It's a $70 doll. So, but like I said, everything else I bought at the other auction. I bought other stuff at the auction. I bought a big I can't remember. It's a big cutting thing for scrap workers, but it's huge. It was like that big. really cool, and it was in full working condition. And I paid $50 for that, and I sold it for $179. So my whole auction,
Wow.
I think I spent like $80 or $90 the whole auction. So it's all free, and that's kind of how you build up a giant pile of shit, is because you buy stuff and you sell a few pieces out of it, and suddenly you own all that for nothing. So it for some stupid reason in my brain, it lowers the priority of whether or not I need to list it right away. Because I mean, I could take everything that I have not listed and throw it away, and I wouldn't lose a dime.
Right.
I would lose.
That's me too.
Money. I mean, that's why I said, you know, I'm trying to not buy until I get far enough into where I just have clothing left to list.
I don't believe that I have anything. I may have a few pieces. And when I say a few, I mean probably 20 or 30 that are listed right now that I've actually paid for at like a yard sale or a bag sale. So if I do have anything, it's very minimal into my inventory. Anything that is unlisted, I do not have money into it.
Mm-hmm.
All of that inventory is free and clear. So
yeah, no, I mean, my last auction I went to, I haven't paid for that stuff yet, but all that is actually, almost all that is up and listed. I think maybe it all is. The last auction. Oh no, because I still have stuff out in my truck. It's not up and listed. I mean, I've got some china out in my truck and a couple pieces. I mean, there's only 2 boxes out there, but
yeah.
But that's, I mean, I already started selling out of that. But I mean, some of that stuff is actually, it's really good stuff. I mean, out of that auction, I spent $145 with buyer's premium and tax and everything. It was like $115 in actual merchandise cost. I sold $40 out of that yesterday. And then, so I'm down to like $85 then is what I own in that. Actually $100 if you count everything. And I've got up online already about $900 worth of stuff. So
Awesome.
So I mean, I'll get it up, and I mean, I've got 3 soldering stations to list, and those are $100 a piece, and I don't own those for anything. I've got 3 Zunes to list, Zune 30s, one working 100%, but it's the pink, which is a nicer, rare color, and I have 2 of the brown Zunes, which is in the Guardians of the Galaxy movie. Those are going to be sold for parts. They kind of work, but I'm not going to guarantee them, so they're going to sell them as parts. But again, for cosplayers, they don't care if it works or not. You know, they want the look almost as much as they. I mean, a working one is nicer, but if they don't have a working one, then they'll take one for the look. But those are probably worth $25 a piece. And I've acquired those over the years because both my daughter and I, we use Zunes. That's what our music is with. So, so that's how I mean, there's mine right there. Mine has, I have a 100 gig hard drive in this one, though. I put a different hard drive in, so I have a plastic case that helps hold it shut. But I've had this since 2006. So suddenly I'm cool again. But you know, so that's you know, that's another $100 for this. I'll probably put up about $700 worth of stuff today. You know, hopefully I can sell sell 10% of it, so $70 to $100 overnight. I mean, I think the Zunes will sell fairly quickly, and then the soldering stations are really good. They're professional soldering stations, and $100 is the minimum. I think I got a couple that might actually sell for about $125. I gotta test them and make sure that the leads I have, because without leads they'll sell for $100. I have leads on all of them, so I have to see what they you know, make sure they work, and then also see what I can get out of them.
Yeah.
But I got those for free.
It's the best way to get it.
Yeah, my stepson brought them to me. Now he wants me to help him get some appliances, so I've got to search some of the auctions around here to see what we got as far as appliances being sold. So because he's moving to a new place on the 2nd, and so I told him I'd help him look for stuff like that. And then once he gets it, you know, once we figure out something, I'll go help him pick them up and help him move and everything. So
right.
we'll get him there. But
Yeah.
I gotta go and run some errands.
okay,
You do.
Yeah.
right this second.
Right now?
No.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
That's your plan for today.
I was like, God, we just got back on.
I know.
Today.
Are you going to go out and do some shopping while you're out?
No, I don't think so.
There's a goose walking.
What?
There's a goose walking there.
Oh yeah.
I like the geese. Sorry.
No, I'm just gonna go. I gotta go grocery shopping and get some gas, and that's it. But I'm not gonna do any thrifting today. I've got plenty of stuff here.
Tiffany asked, how often do they evaluate your store on eBay? And does anyone know when the next time will be? They evaluate you once a month.
Right.
And it's usually somewhere around the 20th of the month.
Right.
And what they do is it depends on the level of store you're at, as in your volume. You're either evaluated on a 12-month period or a 3-month period. Most people are on a 12-month period.
Right.
Because you don't have enough volume. It's higher volume sellers that get the 3-month period, and that's because they're doing as much transactions in 3 months that most other sellers are doing in 12 months. So they do that to kind of keep it as a fair level. And what they're evaluating for is your performance standards, and all the performance standards are evaluated on different systems, different things. So you can actually go and look at your performance standards. They'll tell you, how often they evaluate. I'm gonna pull mine up right now. So I hit the wrong button. So that's what I'm looking for. Yeah, if you your transaction defect rate, that's a 12-month. Your late shipment is a 12-month. Your cases closed without seller resolution is a 12-month. Tracking uploaded on time, that's a 3-month. And then your transactions show you where you're at for the year as well. Your return rate is for the year, and then your top rated stuff. That's just whether you're top rated and how much stuff you have listed. So feedback has nothing to do with your seller rating, so that's kind of a good thing. But yeah, I mean you need to pay attention to those, especially if you're starting to fall down on some of those. But if you have one bad transaction, you had a defect, it's not going to make that much of a difference, unless you're like a really, really low volume seller. But if you're selling 50 to 100 items a month, one defect, one issue is not going to make a big difference. Last year I had one that I had to cancel because I couldn't find it. And that was before I came up with an inventory system. So my defect rate is 0.09%. So I'm not even at 1%. So, and I think the rate on that, if you click on the arrows next, it'll tell you what you're below standard is 2% or less. Top rated is, you have to maintain your top rated seller, you have to be a 0.5%. So I could actually have 4 more defects and still be top rated. And those fall off after a year. And then, like your late shipment rate, which is you absolutely did everything out. Your way late is 3%. And then your cases closed is 0.3. That's the bad one. That's probably the worst one you can have when you have a case closed without seller resolution. That means that you guys couldn't come to some sort of understanding that was your fault. I mean, if eBay steps in and looks at it and you've got an unreasonable buyer and they're asking for you to basically give them all the money back and not ship the product back, stuff like that, that's going to be unreasonable, because every company out there has the right to say, if you want your money back, you need to ship me back my stuff so I can give you my money back. But if you can't come to some sort of resolution and you're being a jackass, then they're going to ding you on that. And it doesn't take much for those to fall below standard, and that can really kill your account. So that's the one you got to be the most afraid of.
Yeah.
Tracking and loading on time. That's the one that you got to have a lot of room on, because it's 5% is being above standard on that, and it takes a lot to get below 5%. When you think about it, if you do a 3-month thing, for me, I had 288 transactions the last 3 months, and I have one that was uploaded on time with no carrier scam. It's because I combined the packages and eBay didn't see the combine for some reason. So I don't even care. But I'm at 0.35 is my how much I got dinged for one transaction, and so I could actually suffer roughly 3%. So I could do 15 to 18 transactions and not really worry too much about that. So you kind of, it's good to look at that, and you can find that going through your if you go to your eBay hub and then go down to your traffic, and there's a little view performance area, click on that, and then you can look at seller performance in that tab. If you're doing everything right, you really don't have too much to worry about.
Yeah. But like Eric said, it's good to kind of know where you're at. I'm doing really, pretty good on all of my numbers, but I always want to know, where I'm at, and if there's been any change or, any issues that I didn't know anything about.
It's good to know, because like I said, if you look at something and you know that they've made a mistake, because eBay's not perfect. This is all computer driven. So if there's something weird, like where I did is I combined it wouldn't let me combine the package through the seller hub, but it was because it wasn't international or anything, but I couldn't get it to combine for some reason. I tried everything the way I could. So what I did is I put them together in packages, cut and pasted the tracking number over, which is perfectly fine. There's a traffic number, everything, but for some reason eBay doesn't show that as being scanned, even though it showed it for the one transaction but not the other one. So if I was close, I could have called eBay and gotten that one taken off. But because it's a 3-month metric, and I know I'm never late with that, because I go to the post office every day, and I actually hand them to them and they scan them in front of me. So that's me personally. It's not because I want to, it's because it's easier for me. I know I don't have to worry about that metric. That one will fall off and I could care less. But if I was close on that, I'd have called. Yeah, and I don't call eBay on stupid stuff or little things like that. I only call eBay when there's something wrong with my bill, or there's a major issue going on that I can't get figured out. Like, for some reason, when I do a listing, it can take 4 to 5 hours for my listings to show up, and I haven't figured that one out yet.
So who's Harry Knuckles?
Yeah, Perry Knuckles. Is that what you said?
Oh, somebody's. Oh, it's Nikki's. Oh, is she going
Nikki.
to? Is she on a movie set?
No.
Yeah.
No, this is construction going through Superior. It's terrible. They got the whole damn street clogged up.
Where are you going, Nikki?
I gotta go to the gas station. I gotta pee. I was watching all that water.
Okay.
I gotta wait to do some planning for the funeral and stuff, so I'm waiting until my appointment.
Uh,
No,
I heard y'all talking about the glitches or whatever, Eric, that you and I were.
yeah, that's what you had it, and it didn't take that long for yours to show up. But like I said, I was sitting here with Jason one night and I was listing stuff, and I'd listed stuff earlier in the day, and so he's like, "Oh, let me take a look at that. I'm curious. There's the hard drives actually." And he went to look at them, couldn't find them, and I kept clicking back on it, and it took almost 5 hours for that to show up.
Wow.
And I've had that problem in the past before. I've had issues where I list things and I can't even find them, even though it shows in go to my seller hub and look at my active listings. It's there. The clock is counting on everything, but I can't find them when I go and look myself up, sign out and go look myself up individually.
Yeah.
It's not there.
Yeah,
But a couple hours later, they finally show up.
Somebody posted in my group the other day about yesterday about, you know, the glitch where all the watches and views weren't showing up and people were freaking out, and eBay's like, okay, it's just a glitch on the back end with the counter. It's not a big deal, whatever. But apparently that one's making the circulation of the groups and people are freaking out because, oh my God, nothing's getting any views or what. I don't look at my views and watches. If you're babysitting your listings that much, I mean, and I don't mean that bad, but I mean, there's times to look at them. You know, if you have an item that,
You got a really cool item.
yeah, really cool item, and you're not getting anything on it. You go and glance at it, and you're like, okay, I have a gazillion watchers and a ton of views, and nobody's made an offer yet. Then yeah, something could be wrong with your listing. You could have it priced wrong. You know, crappy pictures, bad title. Well, no, if not, if it's getting views and watchers. But, I mean, there's a time and place to do it, but I think, I don't know. I just have never paid that much attention that people are noticing stuff like that. But
Well, I was just going through my listings and seeing that it was one after the other dash 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 dash
Right,
dash
right.
dash.
no, I mean, I've noticed it. I glanced at it, but I think there are some people that just totally babysit and, you know, worry about it. And at the end of the day, just list. And
Dang, as screwed up as everything has been, I don't blame a damn bit.
but I think
I never noticed it until it was on Facebook. But lately, eBay's been having a lot of glitches, and it's kind of ticking me off. Like I said earlier.
they have, and it makes me wonder if their engineers are tweaking some stuff, you know, behind the scenes, or some server issues, I don't know. I mean, it does get frustrating. Like the other night when my stuff wasn't showing up, you know, I had some stuff that was in the militaria category and some that was in the firearms category, and I called eBay just to say, hey, did I, you know, something wrong? And she's like, no, those are considered sensitive categories, and we just kind of have a delay. And I said, what are they manually? Are those manually approved? And she wouldn't ever really. She kind of hemmed and hawed, and she wouldn't really ever say.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, it can be frustrating. Oh no, not as frustrating as being locked out of your Amazon account for a week. That's what I've been dealing with. For a week now, I can't get in on my desktop or on my phone browser. I can't get into Amazon. I can through the apps, but I can't through any kind of browser stuff, thanks to their wonderful new two-step authentication, which failed on me.
Great.
And then you call and you get, I've never, and I even talked to, like, I kind of worked my way up the ladder. I've talked to 3 different people at Amazon because they're trying to figure out what's causing it. And they're like, I said, have you ever even heard of this error message? And they're like, no, you're actually the first one. I'm like, awesome. I get to be the guinea pig.
Oh my gosh.
Here.
No.
It's not a huge ordeal as far as selling on Amazon. I can still, if I had a question from a potential buyer, I can still answer it through the Amazon Seller app. I can still order stuff through the regular Amazon app.
You just can't do anything to your. I mean, you can't go in and change prices, and I mean, I think you can on the app. I don't know. I don't use the app, so
I don't know what all you can. I mean, I couldn't create an FBA shipment if I needed to, which I thought about sending a couple things I had laying around in, but I mean, it's not a major ordeal. I think just it's the point. It's kind of like the glitches with eBay at the point where it's dragged out for over a week. It's like I know that I'm just one small fish in a pond and I'm not a top priority, but it's like I told the lady on the phone yesterday. I said, you know, you're going to force two-step authentication on everybody sometime in June. So I just said, just hypothetically, what if I'm not the only person that this is going to affect? And I said, what about all the tens of thousands? And she's like, yeah, we probably need to figure this out. All right, whatever. Not my circus, not my monkeys.
I'm just waiting for a free recall period, so I can just pull everything else I have in there out.
Well, it is a little frustrating. I got $50 in there from stuff that I've sold over the last week or so, and I would like to sweep that money out. I can't do that. I mean, so there's little things like that that would be nice, but
That's in the bank.
it's
In the bank at Amazon right now.
the interest-free bank of Amazon.
I really wish that you could access your seller account through your buying account at Amazon.
I mean, you theoretically kind of are. It's just a front and a back. So
Yeah, I mean, but I wish you could say, okay, I got money sitting on the back and spend on the front end. I wish I could access that. I wish it was $1, one account that eBay could, or that Amazon would actually look at and go, okay, no problem. If they did that, I think that they'd be surprised how much better it would work. Because people who are making money on Amazon would also buy things on Amazon.
Yeah, I never really understood why, like, instead of sending, because they would send it through my bank account,
Mm-hmm.
and I never realized or never could figure out why they wouldn't just put it on my account. Why don't you just put it on my account so the next time I want to buy something on Amazon, then I'd have the money for it, right there.
One of the things that Amazon was set up for businesses, and probably most businesses don't want that income going into a possible spending account. I mean, there's a lot of possibility for fraud there and everything from the individual businesses. But
part of it, my guess is part of it is probably, they operate in 50 states under a payment processor's license or however they operate. And if they started taking that money, would that change that dynamic?
Yeah.
Although, with Amazon affiliates where, somebody clicks on affiliate link and you can get paid or whatever, they do have the option with to get paid in the form of a gift card that you can put on your buy.
Right.
So that theory wouldn't totally make sense. I don't, their back end is so, it's been around since, the early 2000s, and it really hasn't changed. I think they grew really fast, really quick. Well, obviously they did. And they never really kept the software. I mean, they did behind the scenes. They tried to take it's kind of like if somebody took DOS and said, okay, I'm going to write a program in DOS to sell stuff online. And then all of a sudden, fast forward 10 years and you're still working off that DOS shell, trying to figure out how to do the new high-tech things you want to do. And that's kind of the way Amazon looks to me.
Which really kind of sad that DOS is still alive in Windows.
It's like your grandma showing up in her Oldsmobile at the races because she wants to race everybody, kind of thing.
My grandma had.
How was that analogy?
My grandma.
Wow, Todd. I wish I could be like you and always have my stuff selling.
Did she say I want to be
Because
like
he can't keep his listings high enough because he keeps selling stuff. I feel so sorry for you.
Jennifer's asking for an affiliate link from you, Dusty.
Do I have an affiliate link? Yeah, I mean, I can't post anything in the.
Go to the.
I don't know what it is because I can't log in my account. So.
You're in your group though, I'm pretty sure. So.
I did a video one time.
You should probably have it on the bottom of every one of your videos.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I've thought about it, and there's nothing wrong with that because it doesn't cost people anything, and I'd get a few pennies or whatever. I just think to do that on every video to me seems kind of, well, number one, I'm lazy, and number two, it just seems kind of, I don't know, grasping for straws a little bit. Okay, yeah, I can't even get into going straight to Amazon affiliates. It gives me the same error. I think I did it one time in a video where I was talking about shipping or something like that, and I put some links in the description there because I was showing different items that I use.
Do you have to have an affiliate link for every individual item, or do you have to, or can you just send a generic affiliate link?
I don't. There may be a generic, but basically what it does is, and don't quote me on this, but it holds if somebody clicks on it, it holds a cookie in their browser, and so anything that they buy over the next X amount of hours, and it's not real long, I think it's like 12 hours or less, anything they buy, you'll still get the credit for that purchase. And it can be good. I mean, you get, if you do enough of them, there's people that do really well. If you do enough, then the bounty or whatever they call it, the percentage they pay really goes up, and you can get as high as like 6%. I mean, I got a gift card yesterday for my affiliates. I think it was for a month or two, and I got like $14. So, I mean, and I did figure out how to apply that through the app since I couldn't log in on the back end, but, and I applied it to my account. So, that's $14 we got to order or something with. I don't know what that's from. I don't know when I sent out any affiliate links, unless it was that really old video still generating some affiliate money. I don't know. But I do it with other people. If there's somebody out there that's a friend and I'm about to purchase something, I forget about doing it, but I'll be like, hey, give me an affiliate link so you can make a few bucks off this. It helps them a little bit. Okay, yeah, the other Jason said, right, Dusty, as long as they use the same window in the browser for like 12 hours. I knew something like that. Sorry. Why did it get so quiet? Why did everybody leave?
I'm here.
I'm here. Did y'all have glitches on the show this morning, or this is the show part 2?
Yeah, it kept shutting down on battery. So she had to restart it. But then she was having problems with her sound too. So.
Yeah, I bought my light kit through Dusty's affiliate league, so got a couple bucks. I mean, like I said, I don't care. I mean, why not?
I'll let somebody get the money for it.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's not costing me an extra penny at all. So
Exactly.
you should check to see if you get affiliate links on Bubble Wrap and stuff like that, or set one up for that when you can.
You could. I just don't. And I'm kind of like, I don't have any bubble wrap I order off Amazon, and I'm weird about like just throwing out a link there for products like, oh, I recommend this. If I don't have, I've never actually bought it. I think that'd be kind of crappy. So there's really not a whole lot that I recommend shipping wise or supply wise off of Amazon that I actually use, other than the lighting kit. Trying to think what else. The Boxery, I like them. They actually sell on Amazon as well as eBay. I like some of their boxes, can be priced right sometimes. Poly bags, but I haven't ordered those in a year because I've bought a year's supply.
I hate it.
So
I need to order some bubble wrap, and I can't find anybody who doesn't have a decent time frame for getting it in.
Diana said eBay has an affiliate as well. Yeah, I signed up for that one, but I haven't checked back on it. I don't remember how to get into it. eBay Partners, I think it's called. I get emails about it. Partner Network. Log in. I was kind of surprised. Apparently that's not my login. I was pleasantly surprised with the 3-inch tape that I ordered. You remember before when I ordered it off of that medical mall by mail or whatever it's called?
Yeah.
When I ordered it from them last time, they sent it FedEx Smart Post, and it took forever. And they did pretty good. I ordered on a Tuesday and I got it yesterday, so I got it on a Monday. And their price is good. I mean, I really can't complain. I just have to remember to order it soon. You know, order it before I run out. So forgot password. Apparently I'm not in the what the hell? Jim, somebody asked
Jim.
if Jim closed on his house. He did close on his house yesterday. And it went well. His crystals did not kick in.
Well, that is good.
He said the sellers were actually there, and he had the opportunity to ask them some, questions about different things on the house or around the house or things like that. So I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, that's pretty neat.
Chick Picker said my sound's not working again. Just hold up, write things on paper and hold it up.
I don't know.
Do you feel unsafe where you are?
I don't know if it's her computer or if it's just the system.
He was real faint earlier when I was listening to y'all while I was shipping.
Are you still on your headphones, Val? Plug your headphones back in. It's a test. Plug your headphones back in.
I heard something. The other Jason said, I know Jim's happy, maybe a little less grumpy today. Yeah, he was sitting on our couch last night, and he said before he and I went to dinner, and he said, I feel like just like a weight is lifted. But he still does have the packing, like y'all said, he does packing ahead of him, so that'll be
Val?
Yeah.
that'll be fun.
I can hear you now. If you're real faint, you need to go in and turn your microphone up.
How's that?
Yeah, that's better. I mean, it's still a little quiet, but at least we can hear you. So I think you're having a computer issue, not necessarily a hangout issue.
Yeah.
Can your computer use Bluetooth?
What?
Can you use Bluetooth? You can maybe get some Bluetooth headphones and microphone. That way you could walk around and talk and still do stuff.
How about now?
It's a little quiet. You might have to go into your computer settings itself and actually turn the microphone up in the settings section.
awesome. Now I'm not getting any cha-chings. And my PayPal notifications were coming through slow last night. I just think they're tinkering around under the hood again of some
chinging as well. So
in typical eBay fashion. We're making it better. I always like it, like when you do app updates on your phone and you click on it to see what the update is on the app, and they go, "We're continuously making your life easier." And it's like, no, you're not. You got glitches with your app.
all right.
This is what I like about where I live. Front page story is about a teacher who's going to retire. That's the top news in the newspaper today.
Oh, not mine.
Love that. That's why I'd never live anywhere else. Menards has got a really good sale on right now. Well, good Wednesday, May 24th to the 29th.
Yeah, I bet you Jim was just. I bet his stress level is cut in half now. I mean, he has been so stressed this last month. So.
I mean, it was, he and I went yesterday and met the realtor and did the walkthrough yesterday morning, before his closing, which was yesterday afternoon. And I mean, and he leaves there and we went and hit a few thrift stores. I mean, and they're still emailing him, telling him, well, we need this and we need that. He's like, no. And so he finally picks up the phone and calls the head mortgage guy. And he's like, really? Like, really? Now you're telling, like an hour before you're telling me all this, and he's like, oh no, that shouldn't come through. I mean, this mortgage company just kind of
Sucks.
Yeah. I mean, they kind of jacked a lot of stuff up. And I think that was his, but he was so far into the process at that point that there wasn't, because I have a friend that's the head of a mortgage company or mortgage department at a big bank here. And I started to hook him up with her, but he's like, at this point, there's no sense in going through the process and starting all over again.
Yeah, I mean, they know he's from out of town. They knew he had to come into town to sign the paperwork. And the same day they're trying to get him to, we need this now, we need this. And it's like, dude, either you need it or either you needed it last week or you don't need it now.
I do think what's interesting, though, he and I stopped just to check, the cable company was kind of right up the road, the internet company, rather. We stopped there to check on pricing and, when he calls, how long it's going to take to get hooked up. And the other thing he wanted to check on was going ahead and getting a tag for his van because his one expires in North Carolina there. And he's like, there's no sense in, there's no sense in paying for another year in North Carolina. And so we went in a little small, tiny satellite office and he explained the situation, and she's like, well, here's all you need. You need a copy. And I said, wait a minute, does it have to be the original or can it be a copy? She's like, no, we just need a copy of your current registration where it shows the title number and your driver's license. And he goes, well, what if it's my driver's license in North Carolina? I haven't got it changed over yet. She's like, it doesn't matter. I'm like, does the vehicle need to be present? And she said, no, if it's owned, yes, it does have to be present, but because they, still have a little bit on it because it was financed, she said that's totally okay. And I'm like, so Ashley could literally send him a picture of the van paperwork, print it out at my house and he could go get a tag. I was like, wow, that's so easy in Alabama. So easy. It's kind of almost scary.
Yeah. Ohio, you have to have your car inspection no matter what.
Which we don't have.
They're just checking the van. They're just verifying the van.
Yeah, and I thought they would have to do that too, but I found it interesting that they only do that if you own the vehicle outright. I never knew that. That was a new one on me, but yeah, and then of course we don't have emissions inspections or testing, which is crazy, but I'm okay with it.
Yeah, me too. We used to have that in certain counties in Ohio. And it was always up north or down south, Cleveland, Cincinnati, but Columbus is because that's where all the legislation is at. They would never put it for Columbus, Franklin County, which is where Columbus is at.
We don't have that. We don't have, I don't know how many states still do. We only have one license plate on the rear. We don't have front and back.
I got front and back.
How do you go get your license then if you don't have a DMV?
I said we don't have a DMV.
So Tiffany C said
Well,
Alabama.
Tiffany said Alabama does not
DMV.
have even DMVs.
Yeah, we have,
Well, like in Ohio, they're all satellite companies. There's like 2 DMVs in the state, but they run satellite offices everywhere. And you can do almost everything at the satellite office. The only thing you can't do is testing.
see, that's the way it is here. We have main ones at the courthouse. We have like a main one in the mall, or it used to be in the mall. I don't know if it's still there. And then we have satellites, but the satellites are not, most of the satellites, are not actually driver's license as well. They're just titles, car tags, things like that. And then there's a few of the satellites that also do, because it has to be done, anything driver's license related has to be done through the state trooper's office. So those special satellites are state trooper offices, which is, I think is Zilke still in the audience, which is just, he knows is a freaking disaster here, because there's only one in Huntsville and you have to literally make an appointment like a week in advance and get there at 7 o'clock in the morning. It's really weird.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. Franklin County has 2. One is at the downtown courthouse. The other one is a little satellite, well, it's a huge satellite office. And you walk in and it's literally, they've got enough chairs for waiting for about 75 people. And they build up at 75 people wait really quickly. And they've got, they must have 25 terminals in there and 25 people working all the time. But they are the slowest damn workers, because it's like, you got so many people here. Well, how do you ever get a backup? But you walk in there at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, you got a 2-hour wait. You know, but the good thing is Ohio doesn't make you do it in your county.
Oh, I forgot Tiffany's from here. Okay, I thought she was saying, okay, we don't have DM. What city are you in, Tiffany? I can't remember. Isn't she up in like, I think she's up near the Tennessee line. Is that her?
Oh.
Well, it's not technically, I don't even know if we call it a DMV. Do we call it a DMV, or is it just part of the Department of Revenue? It's really odd. It's, you know, it's done by county. Of course, all our tags are done by county. You know, you can tell by driving behind somebody, the first 2 digits are 1. Well, Birmingham's only 1 digit. It has a 1. If your tag number starts, I think they still do that. If your tag number starts with a 1, it's Birmingham or Jefferson County. And then like Madison County, where we are here, is 57. And it's done, I can't remember how they were numbered originally. I think it was done by size of the county overall in the state or something weird. I can't remember.
Yeah, see, for Ohio, it's a little different, because you don't have to do, I mean, as long as you're going, because they're all state owned or state run, you can go to a different county. So like when I need to do something big, like when I had to change over my driver's license or I had to do something else, I go down to Delaware County, which is the next county over, and it's in and out in 10 minutes.
Now, driver's licenses, you can do that. And the trick that everybody's found here, because the Huntsville one is so bad, is to drive to Gunnersville, which is a lake town about 30 miles from here. And it is literally a little tiny satellite, whatever, but you can do like motorcycle license testing, vessel testing, actual drivers to get your permit, you know, driver's test, your driver's license test, you know, they've got all that stuff here, just like the one here in Huntsville, but no line or hardly any line. And it's literally a building that's like the size of my office.
Yeah.
The waiting room has 5 chairs in it.
Yeah.
And usually people are lined up down the sidewalk if there is a line. But,
yeah, I did that wait 2 hours one time once. I'm like, I am never going back to that place.
you know, my thing is, and I understand that our states, you know, they're strapped for cash and they're trying to man them and everything else. And I mean, here car tags are cheap. Just raise them all a couple bucks and put some more offices in.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't get.
Well,
like,
here they're actually the offices are awarded by whoever the state. It's all politics. It's if you supported I think it's the Department of the Treasury or something like. I'm not real sure how it is on. It's that person. It's out of the governor's office, but it's a couple things out. That person awards the contracts out, and it's always politically motivated. If you donated enough money or things, you can get a contract to where you run that office. Now, what's interesting is you run the office, but the people that are hired to work there stay working there. You just suddenly become the owner of this new office, and it's all political. It's kind of one of the paybacks of everything. So you always got to be, you never know who's going to be, running the office, but they don't change. They don't relocate the whole 9 yards. And it's funny is some of the offices only do tags, and then they have offices that only do titles.
Wow.
So, but then they've got combined offices. So it's kind of, you got to kind of figure out where you're going. Now, luckily the one I go to, the tags are in one office, and then right next door in the same strip mall is a title office. So, but title offices are never open on Saturdays, so you can't do any title stuff on Saturday. They are
I mean,
Monday.
most of what I've found as far as like doing renewals and stuff like that, I forgot about ours this year. So I actually had to go in and do it. But, if you just can do it online, which I'm sure every state's like that, and then they just mail you your new sticker and your new registration and just save the trip in there. It's the little things like moving here out of state or buying a new vehicle or kids that need permits or driver's license. That's where it just becomes kind of a pain in the butt.
Yeah.
But it's a good lesson too. You take your kid and take them to the DMV and you're like, okay, this is the way it works. This is why for the rest of your life, you should renew your tag online. So you never have to stand in this line again.
Ohio doesn't do it online.
We didn't. I don't know how many
They
years
just started doing it. They've been doing it by mail for maybe 20 years, but I mean, they haven't gone to online yet.
We've got online, or you can mail it in. Ironically, though, they charge you like $3.50 per tag if you mail it in.
Yeah.
Now, what's interesting to me is our DMVs also do not do their own credit card processing. It's done by an outside company. And they actually charge 1.5% or whatever if you walk in and you pay with a credit or debit card. They pass that fee along to the tag purchaser.
Yeah,
it's the state about like how many, there's 50, 60 satellite offices throughout the state, and you can't get your own credit card terminals.
Yeah, well, Ohio just started taking credit cards this year, and they charge 3%.
And maybe 3%.
Well, and for years they all had ATMs inside the offices because they either wanted cash or a check, but you won't take my damn credit card. It was crazy. Man, I went to the doctor yesterday, walking pneumonia.
Oh, you did?
Yep.
Well, that sucks.
I've been hacking for like 6 weeks, and I knew something was up. So
Ooh.
I had to get my scripts renewed anyway. So now I've got a Z-Pack and a albuterol inhaler, and chest X-ray, and all that. So.
I'm still not over my crud either. But it hasn't gotten worse. It hasn't gotten better, but it hasn't gotten worse again. So, because it got worse twice, and I had to go back in, and but then I haven't had to go back yet. So luckily, knock on wood. Hopefully it'll get better.
Oh, don't hit that lady with all them babies. That's a lot of kids.
Oh my God.
The other Jason said young people today don't even own checks with their accounts. Our daughter doesn't have checks, and she started a new second job the other day, and I was helping her do the paperwork and explain it so that she'll be able to do it on her own in the future, the tax paperwork and all that. And one of the things that they needed for direct deposit was a copy of a voided check. And I said, just tell your manager. I said, I'm sure they've run into this. And I happened to go in the place where she was working, and we were sitting down and kind of doing it together. And the lady came over, and I said, I can get a few, they're not counter checks, but our credit union will actually print you a sheet full of, or a couple sheets if you want it, full of checks with your name and all that. I said, do I need to get, and she goes, we get this all the time. She said, as long as you verified. And I said, oh, we did. I double checked the account number and routing number behind her. She said, as long as you verified that, that's fine. But most of the places, the two places she works, they're requiring mandatory direct deposit. I mean, a lot of places are going to that instead of, issuing checks anymore.
Yeah, and they're not even mailing out stubs either. I've got my daughter and my niece. They make
you get online and log in and print them yourself.
Uh-huh.
Mm. That's what we're one of the places where Windsor works. That's what they do. It was pretty cool though. They had to pay her because she didn't get her paperwork in on time. They had to pay her first check and a paper check, and so I had the chance to sit her down and show her the banking app and how you can remote deposit. She's like, "Okay, so it's in there," and I was like, "Wait 5 or 10 minutes to check your balance," and she checked. She goes like, "Okay, that's cool." Like, yep, this is your generation.
Yep.
I need a box.
Yeah, my daughter actually came to me when she was like 28 years old and asked me how to write a check. And just like, you never realize that they don't learn that stuff.
Now they don't teach none of that in school anymore.
No, I mean, I took personal finance, I took accounting, I took home ec. I mean, all that stuff is not offered anymore. I mean, I pay all my bills online. I mean, and I talk about everything I pay. I don't write a check for anything, but I have checks. I mean, I haven't written a check in years. I have one in my wallet all the time because I mean that's, you know, mainly because sometimes I get to an auction and they don't take credit, and like I don't carry that much cash with me, so it's like, okay, so if I want to buy, I mean, they're like, well, we don't take credit, but we'll do a check, and that just confuses me. I mean,
Yeah.
I'd rather, I mean, that's what you just got to set up a stupid Square account and you're good to go. I mean, why would you not?
Yeah,
yeah, Frank,
I bring a little
Double
bit of
line.
cash and then I always bring checks.
Yeah. Now I'll buy a money order when I pay my taxes. I could used to not be able to pay it online. I used to have to send it in, and I would never send a check. I want to send a money order. I want that paid right away. Yeah, it's kind of crazy how some places they don't want credit. They'll take a check, and it's like, that's just kind of silly. I mean, I get the 3%, but like most of the auction places I go to upcharge for a credit card. So, which I'm fine for because it's just a business expense for me. I don't really care.
It's probably against most of their merchant agreements with Visa and MasterCard. They just don't know it.
Well, I said, and most of them are using like PayPal or Square.
Always like the places that tell you you have to have a minimum purchase to use a credit card, and
Yeah. My the main auction I go to, they don't accept credit, accept checks though, especially for me. So I just bring, and then if I go above and beyond, I always have my checks just in case. If not, I just call my dad. He can come write a check. Or
I mean, but if you think about it, that's just
the other auctions I go to,
that just limits your business, though.
they do credit, but they charge you 3% on credit.
Yeah, I mean, if you think about it, though, I mean, that means that people who are going there, I mean, that puts a cap on what they can spend, but they may have a $5,000 credit card limit on one of their cards. They could really start spending money, but you don't allow them to spend money. That's just a way to not make money. I mean, that'd be like putting a low reserve on, or putting a low buy it now on all your product. Doesn't matter what it's worth. I know it's worth $500, but I want somebody to buy it, so I'm gonna sell it for $100. And it just seems silly to me. I mean, apparently we're all frozen, but they can hear us.
I hear you. Yeah.
Well, Val's gonna kill the show, so see y'all later.